Hi everyone, this is Tom Passero, your professor for Business 242 Ops Management. I wanted to go over with you the Business 242 term paper and collaborate presentation. So what I'm about to do is talk through the rubric as well as the PowerPoint template, both of which you'll find in the assignment set 6 folder in Blackboard, and how to schedule your time with me to do your 20 to 30 minute, with questions, presentation. So what you see on your screen is a copy of the rubric. I'm going to go through it, and I'll give you some examples as well. For this Business 242 term paper, please select one of the many topics found in your Principles of Operations Management textbook. The chapter titles are a good place to start: project management, forecasting, production capacity management, and so on. You may choose, for example, lean operations, and then focus on one or two subtopics such as supplier partnerships or lean layout. Choice is yours, but make sure you choose a subject where you can fully address each of the sections in the following rubric and have enough content for a 3 to 5 page paper, 1-inch margins all around, 12-point font, double spaced. You may also use your book as a reference, but you need 2 additional references. In addition to the paper, you will summarize your findings during a brief 20 to 30 minute one-on-one presentation with me over Blackboard Collaborate. You may find the PowerPoint template in the assignment set 6 folder, as I said, as well as this rubric. The presentation will take place during the last 2 weeks of the semester. I am available most weekends from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Please send me an email with 1 or 2 times that work for you. First come, first serve. I want to add that you do not need to have the term paper complete at that point. That is due at the end of the semester. But obviously you have enough to put together the presentation and complete the template, which, like I said, I'll get into in a moment. So let me go through the rubric. There are several parts, each of which you need to define. And I'm just going to go through this first column because this is the column that's going to get you all the points. So I'm going to read it and then give you an example. So the definition of your POM, Production Operations Management topic, demonstrate that you grasp the meaning of your POM topic. This includes a full definition of the topic, its general purpose, origins, terminology, inclusion with professional associations and or solution suppliers. For example, ISM, which stands for Institute of Supply Chain Management, ASCM, American Supply Chain Management, CLM, Council of Logistics Management, and so on. Also, you should look at some firms that provide solutions for the topic or topics that and subtopics that you're looking at. Like I said, I'm going to go through this with an example. There are so many things. Get into the book, you obviously have by now, and look to see all the different topics or subtopics. You could choose capacity management, and from there you could do things like shop floor control. You could do MRP, material requirements planning. Just for the example, I went into chapter 8, which is entitled Patient Strategies. There's all kinds of things about there that help an organization find a good place to start a new location, a store, some of the variables there are that will allow you to make the right kind of decision. And one of the things I found fascinating was something called GIS, Geographic Information Systems, on page 351. Other things I want to talk about, but for the purpose of this demo, I have all kind of information on just those pages alone about systems. And although it's not necessarily defined in any of those professional associations, you can get several definitions and support information from a myriad of websites and articles, uh, including some of the main providers of software for GIS. GIS, Maptitude, Geomedia, Esri, I should say, ESRE. Anyway, and I'll show you some of these, but the point is there's a lot of things out there that you can look at and use to complete the 16 and 20 sentences that I would like. For example, the definition of geographic information systems. Any sources out there, as I said, but this is one from an Esri. This is a supplier of that, and it goes into giving you additional information about what it is, but then it really boils down into how it's used, some advantages, disadvantages, testimonies for customers, which you'll need, what organizations are using this particular one, but it would be dependent on your topic. So there's a world of information, and like I said, you need at least two other sources. A supplier's website could be one of the sources, as long as you put it into your own words. I mean, if you have to make a specific quote, then you should reference that. Uh, by all means, you need two other sources besides the book. In addition, the book has bibliographies at the end of each chapter, so that's another source that you could have. Millions and millions of ways that you could get information. Anyway, so that's that. Now, benefits to the organization that successfully implements the POM topic. All right, so here you're going to have 5 benefits that are things that will set give an organization the edge if they use it. So 5 benefits must be listed and described in 2 sentences each and contain industry and textbook terminology. A total of 10 to 12 sentences are required for full credit. All right. Please separate each benefit using bullet points. This is very important. You're going to get points off paper, the right kind of format, because I want to see bullet points for a lot of the stuff when I say so. Okay, so for the GIS, the several benefits are that they can get many different variables. They could look at streets, they could look at utilities, they could look at information, they could look at population and so demographics within that population. That would be very beneficial to, say, you're starting up a restaurant or you want to have some distribution center and so on. So there's a lot of different things, and for what I want you to do is list those benefits, okay, with 2 sentences at least describing each one, and use the kind of terminology one would use describe that topic. Potential disadvantages in implementing the POM topic. So what I want you to do, demonstrate you clearly describe the potential disadvantages to organizations that use the POM topic. For disadvantages must be listed and described in 2 sentences each and contain industry and textbook terminology. A total of 8 to 10 sentences are required for full credit. Please separate each disadvantage using bullet points. Well, there's many advantages to using geographic information systems. However, there are disadvantages. They're not cheap. And if you're a small organization, you probably couldn't even approach to, or it takes a while to get up to speed on these kind of intricate systems. In other words, you probably have to hire a professional just to understand it. Okay, it just gives you information, and you have to do something with that information. It could just be a main point of data that somehow you need to sift out. Okay, and it requires some computer power. In other words, these things run many different algorithms, and because of that, you need a high power thing. Whether you subcontract out, which is an additional cost, or you have this computer power, it is expensive. Okay, so that's what I want you to do with your topic: 8 to 10 sentences, 4 disadvantages, 2 sentences each. Description of how the chosen POM topic interacts with your term paper. Okay, straight that you chose one production operations management concept and clearly described at least 3 ways your term paper POM topic interacts with the concept. Explain the effects, i.e. how it is used with the other, what are the effects on the other, etc. of your term paper, of your term paper POM topic on the other POM concept, and vice versa. 3 interactions and or effects must be listed and described in 4 to 5 sentences each and contain industry and textbook terminology. A total of 12 to 15 sentences are required for full credit. Okay, once again, each one of these, all 3, need to be separated by a bullet point. So for the example of geographic information systems, there are many other POM topics with which this could interface. Give you a few. Okay, well, if you're designing or looking for areas to put in a new distribution system or center or warehouse or plant, that would fall right in with logistics or supply chain, because you need to figure out how to serve your customers best, the optimal cost versus revenue location for your distribution center. You could also look at something called aggregate planning or sales and operations planning. Again, these are all in the textbook. And because you're using such a tool to figure out store locations, DC locations, trends, and so on, you might have to figure out how are you going to plan this. These things, building a new facility is not an overnight operation. Project management. Obviously, you're going to have to put together a whole project plan, maybe even including using GIS to figure out the different options you may have in terms of location. And then last but not least, and definitely not least, you could look at city planning, where you obviously had a reason to put in a new store or new DC or new manufacturing facility to increase your capacity, or perhaps to eliminate another non-efficient location. Okay, three ways that this can interface with the another or interactions with another topic. Okay. And last but not least, the real-world example of an organization that incorporates the POM topic in their operations. So demonstrate that you identified and clearly described how one organization uses the POM. Included the organization's products, industry, customers, where they implemented topics, and achieved by using this topic. A total of 16 to 18 sentences are required for full credit. All right, this is where you have examples in the textbook, but you also can go out, and the secret here is either you could find a good scholarship, good article, research article, and or that talks about examples, organizations have used it, and or go to a solution provider, as I said, some sort of firm that puts together maybe inventory control packages or supply chain or material requirements planning or whatever. And they usually have testimonies from an organization, what they did with them. Sometimes that organization itself will have own biographic information related to what they did. What I'm looking, though, for is that what they did, how they did it, what the benefits, and so on. But I need a little profile. Again, what's the organization's name? What are their products or services? What is their industry? Who are their customers? Now, there are many for this topic I chose as a model, but you can look at FedEx, UPS. There's several in the textbook: Arby's, Home Depot, uh, Starbucks, McDonald's. A lot of these places had to choose new locations or had to make sure the locations were improved, changing demographics, and that's what the GIS could provide. Okay, so give me a little profile of the organization and give me what they did and how to help them. Right, I'm going to skip this for a second because I'm going to come back to it. So each of those, I'm giving you the full credit column, and of course, you need to follow all the other things related to the format, the grammar, the spelling, the citation. Link hard copy of a real-world organization that uses the chosen topic. So whatever organization you choose, make sure I have a link to it. Make sure that the paper has the proper headings. So how many headings do we have? I think there's five sections, so there should be 5 headings. I just give you an example: definition, benefits, whatever. List of references, at least 2. Any citation style. I'm not holding you to Chicago. I'm not holding to APA, but I do want you to list the references at the end. Do not, I repeat, do not just throw in a chat GDP, any kind of references attached to that. You will not be graded on that paper. I want this to be in your own words as much as possible. There's no reason why you can't direct quote something, especially a definition. But give me the reference, please. And it should only be used as necessary. And of course, grammar, correct spelling, and the other stuff is important. Okay. Now, as I said, in the Blackboard Assignment 6 folder, you will have the rubric, and you will also have the template for your presentation. Now, this is a template that contains, it's very boring actually, the design. I'm going to leave that up to you, but I need to see the content that I'm going to go through. And it's taken from every one of the sections from your paper. So what I'm expecting you to do is, you can keep this the same. whatever you want to do with it, but you need to have the content in there. And it does not have to be done, excuse me, the paper does not have to be done completely before you can give your presentation. What you're going to do is send me this, come up with a time that we can agree on, and you're just going to go through it. It's going to be very stress-free, and we'll have a couple questions, and that'll be it. So what am I looking for on your template for the PowerPoint? Obviously your topic and your name. Okay. The next slide, topic definition. Brief definition, and includes the purpose, the origins, any kind of terminology. In other words, what's it called? What is the normal way to describe it? And any kind of affiliation with professional associations or suppliers of solutions. As I said, you have different types of professional educational associations that deal with this stuff, and you can use that to help you with your definition, and or you can use those solution firms, like I said, that I pointed out. ESRI is a big one in this area, what I'm talking about, to help you with this definition. All right. So it should be as many bullet points as you can: purpose, origins, the terminology, the affiliation, and that'll give you the definition. Okay? All right. Next slide. Benefits to an organization that implements the POM topic. All I'm looking for is the benefit. All right? I don't need a big explanation. What is the benefit? The benefits I want them doing is it can handle a lot of data. It can go across widely disparate sources. It can analyze data to explicitly incorporate a location. There's different ways you can look at it: maps, globes, reports, and so on. Very accurate information. That's all you need to post, just the one-line benefit, and then you'll talk over it. Okay? Next slide. Potential disadvantages to an organization. There's a typo here. I apologize for that. Same thing. Disadvantages. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Not the whole thing. You're going to be talking through this, so you have your own notes. But like I said, some of the disadvantages: very expensive, requires a lot of computer power, doesn't necessarily give you a solution but a bunch of data, difficult to understand, and so on. Just bullet points. Interaction between your term paper and POM topic and another POM concept. Interaction 1, 2, and 3. How are they used together? The effects of this interaction. Like I said, I'll just give you one. If you're looking at logistics or supply chain, how are they used together? Well, they're used together so help you find a place that you want to set up a distribution center. The effects of this interaction on each other is given that information, you have maybe choices as to where you want to come up with a location for a distribution center, and hopefully it's going to be in an area that makes sense. It may come up with a couple potential solutions, but maybe this may be cost prohibitive, or maybe you won't get the kind of resources. I'm talking about talent management there. A lot of things that are that what you would call the effects. Okay. And last but not least, a real-world example of an organization that incorporates the POM topic. Just like I said, give us a profile. If I'm talking at FedEx, what do? They offer freight services. They offer supply chain management. Their industry is logistics. Their customers, well, you tell me, both commercial as well as non-commercial, people like you and me. Oops, how do they incorporate the POM? So give me a couple examples how FedEx uses it. And again, the best way to go there is to go to a firm that provides the solution, whatever it is: inventory management, supply chain, project management, and then also to that customer, and then you could see a nice link between them and both entities, and then they'll explain how it works. Like I said, FedEx uses this type of geographic information systems to not only figure out where to put depots at, but also to help optimize the logistics network, how to get product to and from in the efficient way. And last but not least, benefits. What are the benefits of that? Well, timely delivery would be one. Efficient delivery, in other words, not using too many resources. Great customer service, and hopefully repeat sales because of that. Okay? And that's all you have to do. Looking for is a summary of your report, or at least how much report you have, and a nice little chit chat with me. 20, 30 minutes max with questions that go through. And this will be done at the last 2 weeks of the semester, so that you can plan out the rest of your workload. Send me an email. Like I said in the beginning, at the top of the rubric, I would be available most days, 10 o'clock to 8 o'clock, because some of you work during the day, and I understand that. I'll be very flexible. We'll spend a half an hour, 40 minutes together, and hear what you have to say. It'll be good practice for you as well as me. Okay? If you have any questions on this, please let me know. Send me an email, and I'll help you walk through it. Good luck with it. I think you'll enjoy it.